Very good morning, children. Today we are going to start the 14th lesson. We completed 13th lesson, that is World Between Wars Part 1. And today we are going to start the next lesson, World Between Wars Part 2. In the previous lesson, we have discussed regarding the two world wars, the reasons for the two world wars, and also the results of the two world wars. And in this lesson we are going to discuss regarding different types of revolutions which were occurred after World War I and after World War II, and what happened in many countries. And let us start the video. Russian Socialist Revolution. Russia is also one of the country which is the part of Allied powers. We have discussed it in the previous lesson regarding the Axis powers and Allied powers. Allied powers are the winning powers in the two world wars. England, that is Britain, France, Russia, USA, all these are the countries which belongs to Allied powers. So Russia is also one of the power in the Allied powers. Tsarist Russia. Russia used to be under the control of the kings called as Tsars actually. It is a vast landmass spread over two continents, that is Europe and Asia, and making it as a Euro-Asian power. And it comprised of several nations like the Russia, Ukraine, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenia, etc. And the livelihood of the most Russians were completely derived from agriculture, and control over land was the basic cause for struggle between the peasants and feudal lords. Who are peasants, children? Farmers. Feudal lords means the rich landlords in the society. Continually they used to have a struggle in between them. The feudal lords owned most of the lands, and most peasants paid rent for the land they tilled. Means they used to take the land for rent. Tsar Nicholas II ruled over his vast Russian empire like an autocrat. Who is an autocrat, children? Completely like a dictator itself, with the help of army and bureaucracy. But the Russian army was blunt in the extreme by the World War. Completely they have accepted in the World War. They are in the World War also. The Russian army was the largest in the world before World War I. But it has lost lot of soldiers in the World War I. Yet by 1917, Russia had lost 2 million soldiers and civilians and become the biggest loser of human lives in World War I. Lot of soldiers were passed in this World War I. But one more important thing happened here. He is Tsar Nicholas II. He is a Russian king at the time of World War I. On March 8, 1917, around 10,000 women of the capital St. Petersburg took out a procession demanding for peace and bread. Why they have demanded for the peace and bread? Men are at war. Men are not there in the society at that time. Completely they are involved in the war only. Women are the bread makers for the family. So they used to work in the factories also. Peace, they have demanded for peace and bread. They need a lot of peace there, and also they need food to eat. Workers joined them in this protest also. And at that time, Tsar Nicholas II, he ordered the army to suppress the demonstrations which were started by these workers. But what the soldiers have done, instead of suppressing the army, they went and they joined these demonstrations, because they come to know that what the people want. Actually, what the people need, children, here, they don't want the war. They want the society to be in a very happy way, and they want their lives to be in a very happy way. Why? Because war is important for a nation to succeed, but it is not for the people. People are suffering a lot at the time of war, so they don't want the war for a nation. In just 2 days, the situation went so much out of hand that Tsar abdicated the throne. Completely, they asked the king to abdicate the throne, to come out of the throne. This was the first Russian revolution, which was started in 1917, and it was called the March Revolution. Why it is called as March Revolution? Because it is started on March 8, 1917, and so it is called as March Revolution. One more important thing, children, here. What is the speciality of March 8th? It is International Women's Day. Why it is celebrated? Because on this day only the women came out and they have demanded for their rights here. And so from that year onwards, they actually not from that year, but after some years, this was taken into consideration and they started to celebrate the Women's Day on March 8th. It is International Women's Day. A bigger revolution was made later in October 1917 also. Even the situation in Russia thought to continue in the war in the honor of the fatherland. Actually, we used to call our country as a motherland. Many countries used to be like that only. But France and even Russia, they used to call their countries as fatherland because lot of male domination society, and so they used to mention their country also as a male gender only. Common people did not want the war na, so they have completely resisted this and they have organized themselves into councils which are called as Soviets. Completely they came together, they formed into some of the groups which are called as Soviets. And in the Soviets, not only the common people, even different industrialists and even soldiers also took part this. And from this group of people which are called as Soviets, from this only one of a party came into existence, that is called as Russian Communist Party, which is popularly called as Bolshevik Party. What it is called, children? Bolshevik Party. Once again I am explaining you this. The common people, including small industrialists and the soldiers, they together formed into some of the groups called as Soviets. And from this Soviets only, one important party came into existence. That is called Russian Communist Party, and which is popularly called as Bolshevik Party. And the members of this party are called as Bolsheviks. What they are called, children? Bolsheviks. But one more important thing here. Actually, we said that March Revolution and even November Revolution, October Revolution, like this different revolutions were started in Russia. But Russia used to follow the Julian calendar until 1st February 1918. Then only they have changed into Gregorian calendar. The calendar what we are using presently till today, it is called as Gregorian calendar. And Gregorian dates are 13 days ahead of the Julian dates. We will be 13 days before only compared to the Julian dates. So when the March Revolution occurred, actually it was occurred in February only. When we are saying in March, it is already occurred in February because we are 13 days ahead. So actually in our textbook when it is given as March, for the Russians already it was occurred in February. When we are saying it in October, it occurred in September only. And when we are saying it in November, it occurred already in October. So Gregorian dates are 13 days ahead of the Julian dates. And the Bolsheviks, they were led by a leader called as Lenin. So this was one of a Bolshevik revolution picture. So it is a rally of the Bolsheviks. And the Bolsheviks were led by a leader called as Lenin. His name is Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov Lenin, but popularly called as Vladimir Lenin. And they were able to win the confidence of the Soviets. Who are the common people are there? Completely the common people came and they have completely accepted the Bolsheviks also. And the Soviets under the Bolshevik leadership seized power from the provincial government in November 1917. What is provincial government? When the king was abdicated the throne, at that time parliament started ruling the country. That is only called as provincial government. And the Bolsheviks also announced that ending of the Russian Empire, and they have permitted to have the ruling under the USSR. They have want to start the USSR. They have completely announced the ending of the Russian Empire by the year 1920. And gradually most of the former Tsarist empire nations agreed to join this USSR. Previously we have discussed it in this video only. Like the countries like Ukraine, Uzbekistan, all those countries, they want to join in this USSR. In 1924, USSR was formed. When it was formed, it was comprised of almost 32 republics. 32 countries came together and they formed into one union, that is only called as USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. What is called, children? Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. This was formed under the leadership of Lenin in the year 1924 only. So after the Bolshevik party was formed, Lenin became as the leader of the Bolshevik. And when the elections were held, they won in the elections. They completely taken away the provincial government and Bolshevik government was started. As soon as the Bolshevik government was started, what they have done? They completely taken away the Tsarist rule and they have united some countries under the USSR. And USSR tried to build a society that was industrialized and modern and yet did not have inequality of people on basis of birth, gender, language, etc. He is Lenin, the leader of the Bolsheviks. This is the one of a pic of Lenin when he is addressing the gathering in Russia. Next, after Lenin died in the year 1924. When USSR was formed, within a few months he passed away. After Lenin, Stalin succeeded him. Stalin was the next leader to Lenin. After the death of Lenin in 1924, Stalin emerged as a great leader and he completely changed the economy of USSR. He only started 5-year plans in 1928. What are these 5-year plans? For every 5 years, they will keep one target and they want to achieve that target in a 5-year plan time. Those are only called as 5-year plans. And he started collective farms. This is very, very, very important, children. What are collective farms? What the government will do? They collect the land from all the farmers and even from the landlords also. And that land will be under the control of the government. And this government make the farmers to do the work in the lands and equal amount will be shared for all the farmers and even for the landlords also. But this is one of a black mark in the history of Stalin. He have done very good things for Russia, but this is only one of the black mark. Why? Because many of the landlords resisted this. They did not accept this thing, because if I have some 10 acres of land, freely I can't give to the government. I need some sort of amount or something else. But he took very forcefully from the farmers and even from the landlords also. So when any of the people resisted them, then he made them to face the imprisonment and even deportation and even death also. Deportation means completely sending them out of that area, or we can't see those person again also. Even them at the death also. So this is one important black mark in the history of Stalin. And at the time, industrialization also developed a lot. And there is a city in Russia called as Magnitogorsk. And here, the construction of the steel plant is achieved only in 3 years. Actually, it is not possible for a steel plant to complete in 3 years. But he made it possible. And he extended schooling system also there. He developed a lot of schools and creches were established in factories. I hope that everyone know the crèche. When women go for the work, they make their children to play somewhere in some play schools like things. Those are called as crèches. So he started that. And even cheap public health is also improved a lot. And even quarters were given for the workers. And at this time, USSR achieved a full employment also. He is Stalin. And USSR achieved full employment. Universalizing of primary education was started at the time of Great Depression. The period of Great Depression is 1929 to 1939. This is the 10 years peak time where all the countries, maximum number of countries has affected with the Great Depression. I already said what is Great Depression in the previous lesson also. In this period, the value of the money will be decreases and the cost of the products will be increases, and the money won't have any sort of value also. So many countries have affected with this. Most of the people have lost the employment in different countries. And but USSR, that is in Russia especially, they tackled this thing in a very different way. The main thing is that it was able to escape from the effect of the depression because it was not integrated with the international markets. They used to manufacture their things by their own. They did not depend upon any of the international markets. And secondly, it had a very planned economy. And the experience of the USSR inspired many people all over the world, and who were committed to the ideals of equality and national liberation also. Even Indian leaders were also inspired by the communistic things, because Lenin, he follows Marxistic ideas. Karl Marx ideas will be followed by the Lenin. He completely followed those ideas, and Communist Party in Russia was started by Lenin only, and the successor Stalin, he continued that system completely. And even M.N. Roy, he played a very important role in the Comintern, an international organization which was set up to spread communistic revolution all over the world. Many others were also horrified by the violent elimination of opposition and denial of multi-party democracy and freedom in the USSR. The very important thing is that in the communistic governments, democracy won't function at all. So multi-party system is also won't be there. All these we have already discussed it in 9th standard. So multi-party system is not at all possible. If any of the opposition party people are there, completely they will be suppressed. And this was shown in a book called as Animal Farm by a great writer called as George Orwell. And in his book, he has completely highlighted how the ideals of the Russian Revolution was compromised completely in USSR. That was discussed in this book. And I hope that everyone understand this topic, children, and we'll be discussing the later in the later videos. And here is an assignment for you. So I have given 7 questions. Answer these questions and send it me through WhatsApp. Meet you in next video, children. Thank you.